Hello, oh my god, day 6 of vlogging. Why am I doing this? Is it day 6 or is it day 5? I don't remember. Probably like more realistically, why are you watching this? I get 100 views on like all my videos. I don't know who you people are. But thank you for being here. I have to take the trash out. Want to see my creepy trash room? Okay, first of all, the lights flash on and off. That is not me doing that. And then here's the slots. I also got an Amazon package, and we have an Amazon locker downstairs, but look at how they delivered it. They just set it on the counter. We have an Amazon locker. Obviously it's a clock. Let me unbox it. My neighbors definitely are not thieves though. Something I noticed is that so many people leave their shoes just sitting outside of their doors instead of bringing them inside. And it's like, yeah, who's gonna steal shoes? But even so, I mean, it's the city, you know? Oh. ASMR. Wait, maybe on the bells? Okay, while setting it, I think I'm gonna trip the alarm. So let's see here. How do you stop it? How do you stop it? I don't know how to stop it. That's so dumb. You actually have to turn it all the way off. You have to turn it all the way off, but then you have to wait for time pass so that the bell doesn't go off when you turn it on. Like, how much time even has to pass? I guess you just have to set it every day. You have to reset it. Oh, and it's not a 24-hour clock either. So you can't set it for 8 a.m. You actually have to set it you have to set it manually every time. This thing was cheap. Okay, look at the light up background. It just turns on that little light. I wanted analog. I mean, it's what I wanted. But why? Why did I want this? It's because I want to start getting up and planning out my day when I wake up. And I have my alarm clock in my bedroom, which gets me up from sleeping, but I'm always hitting snooze, right? And the idea was I want to place this alarm clock on the desk that you're sitting on and have my planner out, have my bathrobe, have my coffee cup, and just sit down and write down some thoughts and what I'm gonna do during the day. And frankly, my bedroom alarm clock isn't gonna get me to do that. First of all, it's on my piano. You can't write on that. Second of all, I'm always pressing snooze. Third of all, this is gonna force me to walk into a different room, and then my robe and my book and my coffee cup will all just be there. And I'll let myself snooze the bedroom alarm a couple times before I set this thing to go off. But something I really, really want to be better at time management. Because this year I've been thinking about what strengths I have in my life. The last year it was all about my weaknesses. But what do I have now? First of all, my mental health is great. It's literally never been better in my entire life. Now that I figured out that I have bipolar disorder and I'm properly medicated, I'm in a better place mentally than I have ever been before. Second of all, despite having the flu for most of this month, I am physically well. I have my health, and that is something that I don't take for granted. I have my health, I have stamina, I have energy, and I am not constantly weighed down by some sort of diagnosis. And then third of all, I have time. I'm not married, I don't have any kids. I have to work, obviously, but my life is mine after 5:30 and on the weekends. So I have my health, I have my mental health, I have time. I also am smart. I have at least some kind of platform, and I have a lot of life experience. And so I want to start synthesizing these things together to find more meaning in my life. And then also there's this thing where I really need to make new friends right now, because last year was a total disaster for my social life. I'm letting it go. I won't get into it, but let's just say that I'm not going out very much right now. I have friends, old friends. I have friends that are out there in the city, but I just don't see them very often. I need like everyday kind of friends. I need to go out, I need to make them. And then also I would really, really like to go on a date at some point before I turn 40. So planning, getting those essential things done so that I have time to do the other things. Then also like building a life where I can, do something. I'm still figuring it out. And I think that is part of the reason I'm making YouTube videos right now. I don't know. I just finished the first book I read this year. It's called The Courage to Be Disliked. And I don't know, I've heard of this book a bunch of times, and because it's like a very popular self-help book. And it's about the psychological philosophy of Alfred Adler, whose name I had heard but did not know anything about. He was a contemporary of Freud, but he basically disagreed with Freud's central premise, which is that Freud's idea is that your childhood trauma determines who you are today, right? But Alfred Adler thought that that was too deterministic, and that our traumas, obviously they're important and they shape who we are today, but who we really are, or rather our destinies, are not shaped by our traumas, but by how we live now and what goals we have. So for example, in this book, it gives an example of a woman who has a terrible fear of blushing. She blushes all the time and she's neurotic about it. And so she goes to a doctor to figure out how to get rid of this fear of blushing that she has, because she has to fix this blushing thing before she asks out this guy that she likes. And Alfred Adler's philosophy is that this blushing thing, the issue mentally that she has with it, it's not actually about the blushing. It's because her goal is not to ask the guy out because she's too afraid to do it. And so it's manifesting as this complex about the blushing. So, like our experiences shape our goals, but I think that the idea is that sometimes our own goals are hidden from us because we don't have the courage to see what it is we really want. So like me, for example, I have a lot of trouble with dating, right? And I'll say things like, well, I've had untreated bipolar disorder. My parents had a violent marriage. I got M-worded when I was a kid, and I've had really horrible relationships all through my adult life, and so it's too difficult for me to do this. And I can say that about myself and use that as an excuse. But I guess Alfred Adler is saying, reframe it into what is my real goal? My real goal is that I don't want to date. Not really, because I do want to date, but more so, I don't want to summon the courage to confront the fears I have about dating, because it's scary and it's really difficult. And with my mental health, like I said, very stable now, but I have complex PTSD too. It's I have mental health problems that are exacerbated by stress, and it could be dangerous for me. Let's say I fell in love with somebody. Oh my God. Every time I've been in love in my life, it's been a disaster. It has been a life-changing, heartbreaking disaster. And it's I'm afraid of ever doing that again. And so my goal is not to date. Even though I say I want to, my goal is that I don't really want to, because I want to protect myself. And so I don't know, this book was about facing what your actual goals are. And if you want your goal to be different, then you have to face it, and then actually set the goal that you want and take the practical steps that it takes to get there, which he calls life tasks. And so, I want to use the clock to do a planner to do my life tasks so that I can get to the goals that I'm going to face and do. I'm a professional book reviewer. But anyway, basically the moral of the story of this book is that Adler thought that the meaning of life was to feel like you are contributing to society or a group. He defined society actually as all things throughout time, including animals and inanimate objects, which I didn't particularly understand, but it's an interesting idea. But it's called The Courage to Be Disliked, because the idea is that if you are living authentically, first of all, you can't help but have people dislike you. People are going to dislike you no matter what. And if you want to live with freedom, you cannot live your life under this constant complex about whether or not you can please everyone. What other people think, those are their life tasks. You can only control your life tasks. It reminds me of Stoicism a lot. So this meaning of life thing about contributing to society, it actually, you're not even supposed to use really the feedback of other people. You just have to believe it inside of yourself, that just by existing and doing your life tasks, you are contributing. So here I am existing on the internet. Oh, also, I found out something so delightful. You remember yesterday I bought the plane tickets and the hotel to Philly? So my best friend from college is getting married, and I have a little story to tell. So his family is old money, New England old money, Philadelphia old money, right? And his family was so rich that his great-grandfather lived in a mansion that had a ballroom with a retractable roof so you could dance under the stars, right? And he told me that story 20 years ago about the retractable ballroom roof. And I have told so many people that story because it's such a great image to me, like this mansion with the roof that pulls back and you dance under the stars. And I found out that's where the wedding is gonna be. I get to see it. I've had this image in my mind for 2 decades, and I finally I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna wear a fancy dress and be in a ballroom. I have to get the fancy dress still. Taco salad and a cat. And guess what the temperature is outside right now? -11. That's the air temperature. With wind chill, it's actually -17 out. It's supposed to get to -45 tomorrow. Does saying temperature like that, is that my accent? Temperature? But yeah, bad timing on the weather because I don't know if you can tell, but I'm feeling a lot better from having the flu and I would like to start my step goal again, but I'm not going outside right now. I know that Minnesotans were tough about the cold weather, but I don't need to go out in -20 degrees, and I certainly don't need to go out in -45 degrees tomorrow either. I usually will step outside at least once when it's that cold because I want to see what it feels like on the surface of Mars. I just checked the wind chill and it's -35 degrees out. Tomorrow, Friday, January 23rd, there is a general strike and protest in Minneapolis. It's 8 o'clock now. I'm gonna edit this video and upload it, and I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!